In today's video, we're going to look at this Ultion 3-star diamond grade, salt secure diamond, sorry, Euro cylinder. And more importantly, we're going to look at what it takes to pick it. Before we get into that, let's just show you on the side. We've got the salt secure diamond mark on that side, and on this side it says TS007 with 3 stars. Now the TS007 3-star standard is the highest level of security that's awarded to Euro locks, as far as I'm aware anyway. Now a lot of that salt secure rating TS007 is to do with brute force attacks. On this channel I'm concerned with picking locks, but in real life thieves don't tend to pick locks, they tend to use brute force attacks. Now if you've got a basic Euro like this one, the usual way that these are attacked is either by drilling. So if you drill just here, you can drill through all of the pins and this core can just pop out, and then you reach in with a screwdriver to get to this cam, because that cam is the part that actually opens the lock on your door. And the other way that these Euros are defeated is by snapping. So if you look at the design of this, it's kind of an up and over design. So this brass body goes from this side over to that side, and this cam can all be removed. That means that the point, the fixing point, which is this hole just here, is the weak point, because we've only got a couple of mil of brass there, a couple of mil of brass there. So what thieves will do is they will use mole grips or similar to grab hold of the very end of the Euro and then wiggle it back and forward. That stresses this central point, and when that front section pulls away, they can just reach in with a screwdriver, turn this cam, and the lock is open, and also your front door is open. Now the average length of time it takes to do something like that to a Euro like this, if you've got one of these in your door, is around 1 or 2 minutes, and they are inside. So yeah, a worrying statistic. So with a Euro like this, it's got all sorts of protection against that. So as far as the snapping attack goes down the middle, you can see here we've got some lines down both sides. It doesn't matter which way around this goes in your door. There's not like an external or an internal side with this particular lock. But if someone grabs the front of this particular lock and tries stressing that central joint, these points here are designed to break away, so this front section will just snap off, and behind that front section we've still got these pins here, and that means that your door is still locked. If the thieves are able to sort of reach inside and damage this section at all, I think inside this lock there are also pins that will fire down in this central section to disable it, stop that cam turning. And this section in the middle, unlike the Euro that we looked at earlier, which is just brass, this is all hardened steel, this black section in the middle, so it's going to be very difficult to kind of stress that in the door and open it. We also mentioned drill attacks with that other Euro. So with this particular lock, you've got the pins, we've got 6 pins, you can just see there. And then you've got these 6 cutouts there, and they are steel bars, hardened steel bars that go down and protect those pins. So if you try drilling this particular lock, you've got to get through all of those 6 pins. They're designed to break drill bits. So while you may be able to do it, you're going to end up using a whole packet of drill bits, making a lot of noise, and it's just not really worth the bother. So when you see this in your front door, or if the thieves see this in your front door, it's the Ultion 3-star and the diamond logo on there, they know not to mess with it and perhaps to look at something like that. If your door lock does look something like this and it's not marked, it is worth swapping them out. They are really easy to swap out. It's literally just one screw and you slide something like this in. Anyway, that said, on this channel we are interested in picking locks, and the Ultion locks are not too difficult to pick. They do have security pins in there which are designed to prevent picking, but they're not particularly challenging. So I think what we'll do is, first of all, I'm going to show you, I'm going to pick the lock, but I'm going to show you previous to that exactly how a dimple lock works, and that will help explain what I'm doing when I pick this. Inside a dimple lock like this, we have got 6 chambers. You can just see the 6 pins up there, and they relate to these 6 chambers. Now in each chamber, I'll just grab a pick. In each chamber we have got a key pin there, a driver pin there, and a spring just beneath it. When we put the correct key in, the gap between the driver pin and key pin lines up roughly where my pick is just there, and that allows that central section to turn. You can see the cam turning, that's what opens your door. So to get it picked, we've got to line up that gap between each of the pin stacks roughly with that kind of line on the Euro there. Now to do that, I'm going to use this excellent set from Multi-Pick. Let me just grab a pick out, I think that one will do. So I'm going to put a tensioner in that provides a little bit of turning force in the same way a key does. And then I reach down with this tool here, which is a flag. Let's get you in focus. A dimple flag pick. And I should, if I get the correct tool, I think I need this one here. Yeah, reach down inside. And as I turn the tool like that, the tip of the flag will just turn slightly. And that enables me to press down. You see the first pin being pressed down there, and the second pin and the third pin. So I just reach through the lock. I'm feeling for a stiff pin, and when I feel a stiff pin, I just turn the handle of the flag like that. That presses down the pins and hopefully lines it up with a shear line, which is that line just there. Once it lines up with the shear line, I can turn that central section, and we've got this lock open. I've got the lock secured in my vise. Hopefully that gives you a good view. And I'll give you a close-up of the key for this lock. You can just see the cuts on the key, and I'll show it working. You can see the cam going round. That, of course, is the important part. And I'm going to lock the focus. Bear with. There we go. Focus is locked. We'll put our tensioner in, and I'm going to go counterclockwise with the tension and reach in the left side of the keyway and just feel for stiff pins. There's a little click on 2, and you might have just seen a tiny turn on that core. I'm going to go for some reasonably heavy tension on this one. That was pin 3. Pin 4, and that was pin 1, and I think we've got this one picked. You just see the cam coming around there, and the plug gets stuck in this position because the pins which are on those springs have just fired up into this gap here. So I'm going to push down with my pick, and then we can turn it all the way around. I think since there's no external or internal side on this lock, I'm going to pick the other side as well. And go for the same approach. So put the tensioner in, anti-clockwise tension, and then feel down and pick those pins. Second pin again, and we've got that same little turn on the core there. Everything's kind of feeling a bit springy in there. I wonder if I've overset something, so I'm going to reset everything and start again. If you overset a pin, then you're not going to feel anything particularly binding after that. That's pin 4. Nice click on pin 4. Small click on pin 5. That was 3. Pin 1. And there we go. Oh, we're not open. Looks like we've gone into a deeper full set, but what's actually happened when I picked the other side and that cam turned round, there's like a little spring inside there, and that's what's currently stopping us from turning, because that spring is set for the other side. If you use a key, then the tip of the key engages that spring, resets it, and I think that's the problem here. So I think we've got this lock picked, and all I've got to do is just push down with my pick, hit that spring, and we should be able to turn this lock and get it open. So I'm going to push down there. There we go. And you can see the cam coming around. Once again, we're stuck because those pins have fired up into the gap in the core there. So just push them down, carry on turning, and we got both sides picked. Although it didn't take me long to pick either side of this lock, It does take some specialist tools and it does take a lot of experience. I've been picking locks for years, so a lock like this doesn't take too much for me to pick. But as I said in the beginning, that is not how thieves are going to try and defeat a lock like this. They are going to go for a snap attack, which this is really well resistant to, or they're going to try drilling, which once again this is really resistant to. Now, as I said in the beginning, if your lock doesn't feature ratings like this, the Sold Secure, the 3-star, the British Standard, or the TS007 rating, then I would consider swapping it out, because in this day and age, if thieves see a euro like that with none of that rating on this part of the lock, then they could well attempt a snapping attack, and as I said, it can take just a couple of minutes. I think I've seen a YouTube video actually where they get in about 10 seconds. So yeah, swap it out to something like this. Generally thieves are not going to be picking your lock. Anyway, thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.